So running a successful business did not come naturally for me. I wanted to become a business owner. I wanted to do this for a long period of time, and I wanted to be successful. I wanted to have the freedom to work how and where I wanted. I wanted to be the boss of my own life, and I wanted to attract money doing this. But like I said early on, this did not come naturally to me. And it took me a while to figure out how to manifest success into my business. So I know all too well how it feels to get real excited to start your business and then to hear crickets. You know, like nobody's buying your stuff, or people aren't supporting you, like maybe even your friends or your family are very ambivalent about what you're doing. And it's very easy during those times to get discouraged and to wonder if you're really gonna make it and if you have what it takes to make it. But I'm here today to show you that you do have what it takes to make it. I'm gonna share with you 3 mindsets that changed the game for me. You may or may not have heard of this before, but it's a very common thing with entrepreneurs that some of them struggle for a while and then all of a sudden the light bulb clicks and they start accelerating with their business really, really quickly. And that's been the experience for me. And it's coincided with 3 very specific mindsets. I wanna pass those along to you. Of course, I do make law of attraction content, so I'm gonna talk a lot about mindset and how you think in order to attract wealth and success into your business. But there will also be lots of practical application tips here as well. So if you run your own business, or if you're thinking about starting your own business and you want to make sure that you accelerate as quickly as possible, go ahead and get out a piece of paper and a pen and get ready to take some notes, because I've got lots of good information for you in today's video. Mindset number 1 takes a common mindset most people have when they begin their entrepreneur journey, and it adds something to it. So most of you have probably heard to do something that you love. That if you do something that you love, the money will follow. Now, I love what I do. So this is true, but it's partially true. It's partially true. And the partially true part, we have to sort out before we start attracting money and success into our business. So instead of love what you do, I want you to change it to love what you do and give people what they want. Love what you do and give people what they want. Now, I know that this was something I tripped up on early, and I've seen lots of people trip up on in business, is they just go and do what they love. And the thing about it is, there's kind of a Venn diagram that exists, okay? There are things that you love and you are good at, and you can do, and there are things that people will pay money for. And you want to find that intersection of the Venn diagram. You want to be providing to people things that they want, that you love providing. Now, some people err on the other side of the Venn diagram, and this is problematic as well. Sometimes people only focus on giving people what they want. So figuring out products or services that they know people will pay money for. But if you don't love it, that's going to create problems too. And so I've actually done both of these mistakes. At one point, I was doing one-on-one coaching. And one-on-one coaching is something that I found people will spend money on and people want. And it was something that I was able to make money on, but it wasn't something that I loved. Which is interesting because I love talking to people and I love handing out advice. But I came to find out that the one-on-one coaching I didn't love because it required scheduling. And I'm someone who hates scheduling. I want as few appointments as possible. And as you can see, as a one-on-one coach, that's not really going to be possible. And so that was one time that I slid over to the wrong side of the Venn diagram. I was giving people what they wanted, but not focusing on what I loved. Now, if I'm only focusing on what I love and not on what people want, there's all kinds of things that I love that I could focus on doing that no one's gonna pay me to do. I love eating pizza and watching Netflix. That's a lot of fun for me, but nobody's gonna pay me to do that. So you have to find that intersection. You gotta find that sweet spot of things that you love doing and things that people want. And if you're not quite sure how to get going with this, one thing that I might recommend doing is figuring out who you want to be your customer. What kind of people do you like? What kind of people would you like to service in some way? Do they have a particular age group, gender, set of interests, set of hobbies? Who are those people? And try to figure out what kinds of things those people want that you yourself are interested in. It really helps to be specific on who you're going to be selling to. And so that's something that I would highly recommend, is think a lot about who would you like to help? What kind of people are you interested in providing a service or business to, or that would be your ideal customer if you already have an existing business? Think about those people and think about what do they want. You may want to ask them a lot of questions. One thing that I found that's been very illuminating in growing my business is that you really have to start to understand that with the things that you love, you have a great deal of expertise in those areas. Those are things that you've studied, those are things that you're naturally good at, those are things that you know a lot about. And so you have a high degree of awareness and understanding in those areas. And the people that are going to be your potential customers, typically their level of expertise isn't quite as high. And so we have a tendency to look at those people and assume that they know everything that we know. But in reality, they're still figuring some things out. That's why they're coming to you. And so you really have to ask those people, what kind of things do they want to see? What kind of questions do they have? What kind of products would be helpful for them? Because please understand, between you and your customers, there is kind of a divide. They're asking for the help and you're providing it. And so your job as an entrepreneur or as a business person is to reach to them and figure out what is it that they want and how can I deliver it to them. As long as you're only focused on doing what you want to do, you're not reaching out to your customer. And as long as you're only figuring out what they want and not what's important to you, you're putting yourself in a position where you're not doing things that you really, really love and that you have the highest degree of expertise in. And so you really want to marry those two together for your highest success. Now, this video right here that I'm doing right now is an example of what I'm telling you, okay? One thing that I did probably about a month ago is I polled a lot of my viewers to figure out what kind of a course they would like for me to make next. And the course that most people voted on was a business course. So I polled my audience and I found out that's what they wanted. And then I went ahead and made a video on how to manifest business success. And that video did really, really well, which tells me this is something people want to know. And so now I'm going back and making more content in that area because I want to continue on that trajectory of giving people what they want. And so this video is a good example of it. And if you like this one, you might like the other one that I made. And I will go ahead and put a link to that one in the description if you'd like to watch it next. All right, but for my second mindset on how to expand your business, and this is something that's really helped me blow up my business quickly. It's a very American analogy because, you know, our football is different than other football around the world. But the way that I explain it is to play business like you're trying to win a football game. And I would imagine the same rule holds true if we're looking at, you know, traditional football as opposed to American football. But the idea is, again, play business like a football game. And what I mean by that is that in American football, the goal is to get the ball down the field. And so at each play, The players are trying to get the ball as far down the field as possible in that play. They aren't really thinking so far ahead as to the end of the game. Of course, they are thinking strategy throughout the game, but each play, they're trying to get that ball as many feet or as many inches down the line as they possibly can. And that's the philosophy that I adopted within my business. That's really worked for me and helped me accelerate my success very quickly. A lot of times when we begin our businesses, there's a lot of stuff to do. Some of it is stuff that is administrative, some of it is boring stuff, some of it is fun stuff, some of it's stuff that's going to generate money, some of it's things like organizing drawers and buying things, and there's all this stuff to do. Some of the things that you have to do in your day really aren't going to get you that far ahead. And I know myself personally, when I began working in my business, I spent a lot of time doing things that weren't getting me ahead. They weren't getting the ball down the field. So maybe I'd spend an enormous amount of time on social media, and I get stuck on social media, and it really wasn't driving any new leads, driving any new sales, driving any new views. It was just me kind of screwing around on my page. Or maybe I was spending an enormous amount of time in my email and kept coming back to my email all throughout the day and getting stuck into all kinds of little conversations and things that really weren't helping me facilitate my business growth. But when I started to look at running my business like a football game, and trying to get that ball down the field, my objective became, what can I do today that's gonna get the ball further down the field? That's my number one objective every single day. And what I mean by getting the ball down the field is grow my business, bring in more clients, bring in more money. That's what I'm talking about. Bring in more people who are interested in my work, spread the word about what I do. That's the primary focus every single day. And so if you are running your own business, or if you're thinking about running your own business, I would urge you to do the same. The beginning of your day, especially when you're fresh, I would go ahead and knock out 1 or 2 projects that are going to push you forward. They're going to put more money in your pocket, or they're going to help you get in front of more people that need to see you. They're going to do something that's going to drive your business forward. Save your administrative tasks, save your busy work for the end of the day when your mind is tired and you've already accomplished the big things for that day. I promise you, if you put moving the ball forward at the front of your day, your business will start to move forward every single day. And thanks to the law of attraction, there's this fun thing called momentum. And the more forward you go, the more forward you go. And so the more you just focus on moving forward, the quicker that's going to ramp up and the faster your growth and success will be. Now I have some more tips here to share with you on how I blew my business up through some mindset hacks and tweaks. But first, if you enjoy law of attraction tips to help you manifest what you want into your life, please make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I put out video content like this every single week, and I know you will enjoy coming along for the ride. All right, but now for the third mindset that has revolutionized my business and caused my business to blow up. And I would say, personally, this is the most important one on this list. It's also, for a lot of people, the scariest one on the list, because sometimes it requires some money, and I know it's kind of scary to think about spending money sometimes, but I'm going to explain to you how it doesn't even require you to spend money in the long run. And it is to delegate. This was the thing that held me back the most, was trying to do everything myself. And if you are a new business owner, or if you are struggling to get that business really going, I guarantee you are doing too much. You're doing too much. And I want you to give yourself permission to get some help. Now, you don't have to go out and hire an entire team or an entire staff. But this is a mindset. I want you to get into the mindset of delegation. And the mindset is this a high-level task or not? Is this something that's going to drive sales and business for my business or not? If we're talking about something that only you can do, if we're talking about something that's really going to drive sales and growth into your business, I want you to hold on to those tasks. I want you to be the visionary who's building your business. But the more administrative tasks and some of the tasks that aren't necessarily growing your business, you want to start to delegate those away. And so for me personally, seen a lot of growth since I've taken on people to help me. So I hired a web designer, and then I hired an assistant, and then I hired someone to edit some of my videos, and I hired a graphics designer, and you just keep adding on as you go. And the beauty of this is when you hire someone to take over some of these less extensive, lower priority tasks, it frees up an enormous amount of time for you to go back to point 2, which is getting the football down the field. If I'm spending all of my day cleaning out a drawer and checking my email and going through my social media content, what am I not doing? I'm not building products and services that are going to generate income, and I'm not creating reasons for people to purchase that stuff from me. I'm not staying laser focused on giving the people what they want. And so delegating a lot of these tasks, and you have a lot of them if you are a business owner, delegating them is absolutely critical. Now, I said a lot of people don't like this one, and I know I didn't like this one either because, well, now I got to hire people. Now I got to spend money on people. But here's the secret. Good employees or good contractors or any service that you purchase to help you and delegate some of your work, if it's good, it's free. It's free. Not only is it free, but it's going to improve the amount of money that you make. Again, you have to think of this in terms of dollars and cents. Let's say that you want to be making $100,000 a year, okay? Let's say that that's your primary goal right now. You're just getting going, but you would like to make $100,000 a year. I believe if you break that down into a daily amount, it's $274. Let me check. I thought I had this in my mind ready to go. 100,000 divided by 365 days, $273.97 a day, okay? So you got to think about that. You want to be making $100,000 a year. That means that your day is worth $240, okay? And so if there are tasks that you are spending your time on, you have to ask yourself, is this task going to help me hit that number? Or is it going to slow me down? Am I cleaning my own office right now? Isn't this something I could hire somebody else to do for a lot less money? And then I can focus on working on the things that grow my business so I can attract more money? I'm telling you right now, when you hire the right people, those people are free. They are absolutely free. You're going to pay them the amount that is commensurate with what they're doing, which allows you to focus on doing work that's going to attract more money into your business. So I highly do recommend that you start delegating. And you know, you can delegate in many different ways. Again, you can hire people, you can purchase software and memberships that automate your work for you. You can do things like, I even taught my kids how to make dinner. So now I'm not on the hook to make dinner, and my kids can go ahead and do that for me now. And they're older. It's not like they're 5 or 6. You know, my kids are 11 and 14. So it's a good time for them to do those kinds of things. But that's a good example of delegating. You could hire a housekeeper. I even hired some guy to start washing my car now, so that's one more task that I don't have to do. And so you can delegate inside of your business, and you can also delegate outside of your business. But I want you to cultivate this mindset of delegation. Get over the idea that you need to do it all yourself, because as long as you're doing that, you're spending a lot of time in worker bee mentality rather than CEO mentality. You have to delegate all of the worker bee type tasks away from you so that you can focus on being the visionary for your business and moving that football down the field each and every day. Now, as I mentioned earlier in the video, one of the things that people have been asking me for is a course on manifesting business success. And I am working on it because it is my aim to give the people what they want and what I love doing. But the course is not ready. It's not going to be ready for a while, but I have gone ahead and drawn up a sign-up sheet. So if you are interested in hearing about this course when it comes available, you can absolutely sign up to get notifications. I'm going to go ahead and put a link below in the description if you would like to hear from me when that business course goes live. Of course, I'd love to have you when it goes live, but it's not ready yet. But of course, go ahead and sign up if you are interested. Additionally, if you are new to my work here, I would love to invite you to take my Law of Attraction test. If you would like to know for sure that you are the one creating your reality and what you think is what comes through to fruition, I've designed a very simple, very fun 5-minute test where you can prove it to yourself. And to take that test now, you can go to manifestingtest.com. I will also put a link below in the description for you to make it easier, but manifestingtest.com is the direct link. Thanks so much for watching today's video on how I blew up my business. I hope that you really enjoyed it. And of course, I look forward to seeing you in another video soon. Bye-bye.